Hi everyone, it's Pete from Oz here, or Aussie Pete 55. I'm just going to make a small video here. I'm a bit hampered with metal detecting at the moment due to some injuries I've picked up over the years in the army. But what I'm going to do today is just going to show you a few artefacts prior to cleaning them and after they've been cleaned. First, I just want to show you a few bottles I've got from down near my hometown, Mate New South Wales. These are from Singleton, and they show they're the Mate and Sons bottles. They're beautiful. Got a cricketer on the front. Don't know whether you can see that properly, but I've got 3 of these beautiful bottles. Lovely cricketer. A big 26 ouncer. And then I've got 4 bottles here. These are from Muswellbrook. There's the AC Saunders Muswellbrook with the dog trademark, and the old Singleton ones have the cricketer trademark. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to say many thanks to Mr NQExplorer. Okay, you've all seen his videos on the YouTube. Well, he's been up the Cape, working up near Bamaga, up north of where I live here in Townsville. And what he's done a great deal of research on his part and has chased up these sites from the Second World War. Basically ex-Royal Australian Air Force sites and Army sites up that way, and he's been kind enough to send me some relics. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you before and after. I'm going to leave the fork and the spoon as is because they're basically how they were dropped, but with the buckles themselves, they've been in a fire, and I'm just going to put them in a tumbler and just take a little bit of the burnt gunk off them and all that sort of stuff. This is actually an old water bottle from the Second World War. As you can see, it's probably been through a fire. They were originally enamelled. Now this is what they would have looked like. Okay, this is one that I've got here in my collection. It's still got the felt on it, it's still got the webbing on it, so it can be hooked onto the Australian soldiers' webbing, and they would have just had a cork in at the top. But that's what this one would have looked like before they just threw it away and threw it in the fire, set it on fire, because basically more than likely the war was over, it was surplus, they didn't want it, didn't have any further need for it, and they just threw it away. And that's probably where some of these buckles would have come from as well, from belting and webbing that they just didn't require and they just threw away. But that's how this would have looked originally, okay, before it was thrown in a fire and burnt. And this one's got a little bit of damage and it's a bit torn on the felt, but it's in an original still with the enamel on it. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this as well. I'll just give it a bit of a wash and maybe give it a slight coating of oil, okay, just to bring up the beauty of the container itself. Okay, but I'm going to give the buckles a little bit of a clean, and the same with these couple of bungs that he sent me as well. Now I've gone over some of the beer bottles I've got from the Second World War, and I think 1944, as you can see on the base here, I think it's about the only one I haven't got. I've got a 42, 43, and I think a 45 and a 46, but basically I haven't got a 44, so thanks very much, Ryan, I appreciate it, mate. But anyway, as you can see now, these are prior to cleaning, and I'm going to give them a bit of a clean now, and we'll see how they look when I'm finished with them. Anyway, I'll be back as soon as I can. I'll see you later.
I brought the other fella from work. Okay, there you go. Good, thanks. Good. I'm Mick. Hi, Mick.
What I'll do, if you can just open the other drawer, and I'll film that too, please, mate. This is fantastic, eh?
Brian's got one up there. Brian's got one up there too. Yeah, that's right. I know mine.
I've got one like that.
Yes.
There's
some of those he's done too. Yeah. Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
bit of gold I found there. Another coin, bit of Aboriginal thing there I picked up.
Oh, the old hand axe, is it?
But I mean, the way he's displayed it out here, he's done a good job, yes. I wasn't impressed to start with, but once it was done, it does look.
Do you make him dust it once a year?
When we have a bottle club meeting.
you've caught them yourself?
Yeah, I caught thousands of them.
Have you?
I caught half a dozen big ones like that.
Oh, I didn't see all them. Holy moly.
There's more swords there if you want. That's some of the stuff they got from there. Introduce it to the next sword he runs with. There's a box there if you want to mix it for a box.
Well, that,
Oh, salt and pepper. Oh, I have lovely.
big.
Oh,
Safe without the safe stuff that are never blood.
Over there, yeah. That's good going.
There's some Catherine ones there.
Yeah.
That's good. I like the little medicine bottles.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Oh, you got it alright.
That's mine. He doesn't like the little
Said we're only been back for
feminine
about 3
touches,
years.
but I insist they're out of my putting my little bits.
Yeah, I've been a big one.
Go out the country and
No, I
everything.
thought it was
Yeah.
Well, this is going to die. They used to come up too when I was digging there.
Yeah.
When you say you collect,
I think he
you
does a bit of
collect.
stuff there.
There you have that. The other two are sort of back there if there's even
you're on the back. You're back.
Oh, he kept a photo of it.
Oh, it's better than no bottle at all, isn't it?
After that, yeah, see, then I thought I'd lose a lot, so I thought I'd get rid of some of the stuff.
We'll just make it $5 for the rest. Silver.
I didn't even look at that. I see more things than you look at.
Well, hello everyone again, it's Aussie Pete 55 here again. I hope you enjoyed the video I made of the bottle collection and metal detecting collection of one of my mates yesterday. He's in the Townsville Antique Bottle and Collectibles Club, such as I am. Anyway, as you can see here, I've got the relics that Warren sent me. I've cleaned them up a bit. All these buckles here are off the webbing. Now they might look a little bit clean, but they are clean. They're all pure brass and all that sort of stuff. So anything that was thrown away from that era would have been, pure brass, all that sort of stuff. Very, very valuable. But these relics here now have been cleaned to the best of my ability, and what I'm going to do now is just give them a thin coating of oil just to protect them. This mainly would have been off the webbing or off a rifle sling, a 303 rifle sling, or for a Bren. This would have been just off their webbing belts, maybe this one off their backpacks, whatever they had. This one would have been off their belts. They had loops in the belt, so when they tightened the belt up this loop, these little hooks here would actually sit in sections that were sewn into the belt itself. And this one here is just another buckle. This one here, I don't really know what this one is for, but I suspect it may have been for something like a certain specialised backpack, maybe for carrying the radios, because in those days I think it took 3 people to carry the radios with the batteries and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, these are the fuel bungs that Warren sent me, and one's a ream and the other's a TriStar from the US. The ream's from here in Australia. I'll just get back on focus. But what I do like about the top is the ream for Australia, it says open with spanner, and the Tri-Shore one from America, it says use monkey wrench, which basically are the same thing really. What I've done also with the fork and the spoon, I've just cleaned them and given them a light coating of oil just to preserve them a little bit. But they're both sort of electro-nickel coated sort of thing. Now here's the old water bottle. Now as you can see, the water bottle here is just bulged out a bit. I'll just go to my copy I've got here. You can see here they are designed basically to mould into the side of the body, and they would have had a cork in it. So with this one here, with the bulge you can see on it, it would more than likely was thrown in the fire such as that, but it had the cork jammed in tightly, and as the pressure is built up inside, before it's actually burnt the cork or just pushed the cork out with the pressure, it's actually bulged out. Now also on the section of the, just here, you can see where the webbing, which is located on the side there, or whatever, where it would have been located on this particular canteen. But anyway, I've cleaned it up well. I've put a little bit of a scrubbing brush on it and got a lot of the excess rust off it. I've given it a nice soaking in oil, and it's looking very, very good. And that'll go in my little display. They'll go next to each other, so you've got basically a before and after, and they'll sit up in the shelves up here so everyone can see them. What I've also done with the bottle, okay, if you can see on the base, it says 1944. What I've done, Warren, is I've given it a good clean. As you can see, it looks almost brand new, mate. But what I also did is I went through the ones that I've got in boxes underneath the benches here, and I've got a clear version of the same bottle manufacturer, out of the same mould, but one's in clear aqua glass, okay, and the other one's in amber. But this one here hasn't got, it has got a date on it. It looks like 1943 or 1945. Don't know whether you can see that better than me, but on the picture, but it's a faint mark there. Yep, there it goes. Looks like 1945, but it's a clear version of the amber one, mate. Anyway, but all I can say, Warren, mate, is I love watching your videos with you and calling in them, and I appreciate you thinking of me and sending me down these relics. They are going to go in my cabinet over here. I'm going to sort a few things out and basically set them up so they are displayed. I've got most of my relics underneath here. I've got in placky bags and different plastic containers such as those there, and I want to basically display them so their full potential can be realised, because these are Australian history, and Warren, as you and Colleen like to do, such as I do, we recover Australian history and preserve it as best we can. And I really appreciate, mate, you sending me these relics, because they have found a good home, and they'll hopefully get looked after I've done my bit in this world. But anyway, thank you very much. These two bungs will actually go to my brother Christopher. He collects those petroleum products such as these, and he'll be very, very happy to receive those. And he has got a vast collection, and while I'm down home, I'm leaving on Thursday to go down and say good day to people for about a couple of days, and hopefully I'll be able to videotape or film his collection and put it on a YouTube video. But anyway, again, many thanks for that, and they will definitely be looked after for the rest of my time on this earth. Thanks very much, mate, I appreciate it, and I hope you YouTubers out there enjoyed the video. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye.